to The Dan Show, starring Dan Whalen.
Hey guys, welcome back to my show where we talk about all things movies, TV shows, and cigars. And today we're going to be talking about the newest superhero movie that I recently just saw the other day. I don't even think it's the newest anymore because I think Fantastic Four kind of took in. Get ready for that one. But today we're going to be talking about James Gunn's rendition of Superman. Now, before we get started, if you could please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It definitely helps me out. Stay tuned for more videos. So, I definitely think there was more bad than good in this movie. But it does not necessarily mean it's a bad movie. Why I'm saying that is because I had a big problem with like the first half of this movie that Superman was just constantly getting his ass kicked. You know, like, I mean, I will say in the beginning of the, like, legitimately, the first scene of the movie, he's laying in the snow. He is messed up. He is beat up. He's bleeding out, you know, whatever. Not bleeding out, just got his ass kicked. But, you know, there's going to be spoilers, just a heads up. But they were pretty much saying, you know, like how he's successfully dominated every battle prior to what just happened in the beginning of this movie. Which, you know, whoever he was fighting literally kicked the crap out of him, you know what I mean? And, like, what's crazy about it is, you know, again, there's going to be a bunch of spoilers. The villain of this movie is Lex Luthor. But Lex Luthor somehow created a clone of Superman and is able to control that clone Superman as if it's like a video game character. Like, you'll hear him going, A1, Jesus, A1, B1, square, you know what I mean? Like, you just hear him just like, and you just see him like playing on their laptops and computers, you know, literally controlling this robotic, you know, clone Superman. There was also the other villain, the female character, where she had like this like molecular freaking, you know, little biomechanical, like little android things that like could code her body, and she could kind of command them to do whatever she wanted. I thought that was kind of cool. I wish there was more of that, like in the world of like Marvel and, you know, DC. I always thought that was just kind of like a cool ability, just have like these little nanobite robots. Okay, prime example, what they did with Iron Man. I love that he had like the nanotech suit, like he literally just pressed his chest and it turned into like a whole armored suit. Thought that was awesome. We need more of that. I thought that was cool. That'd be sick. Make a movie about that. That'd be freaking cool. Just whatever. But no, anyway, so I definitely did like this movie a lot. It just, there was definitely just a bunch of like things wrong with it. And like when you think of Superman, I always think of Superman bench pressing the earth for 3 days straight. You know, that's literally in one of the comic books. The guy was also, he's faster than a speeding bullet. He's able to literally pull a freaking wormhole. Like, he's able to stop a black hole, for crying out loud. But in this movie, I mean, not for nothing, he struggled to literally fight like a kaiju, you know? And I love Godzilla. Like, Godzilla is a tough character, and I love it, but it's a whole different universe. But it started off as like this little gremlin creature, and then it's kind of just like, you know, walked away, and then next thing you know, it turned into a giant like fire-breathing, you know, kaiju. And Superman is in this movie is, I believe, comic accurate when it comes to his personality and attitude. He is good just for the sake of being good, which is a rare anything. Like, not a lot of characters do that. When you're as powerful as Superman, I guess you can get away with it. But, I mean, not for nothing. If I had Superman's powers, holy crap, I'd be the worst person. I'd be so evil. I'd be terrible. Like, I'm just going to admit it. That's why I'm not Superman. That's why I'm not even a superhero, because I know I'd be a villain. But whatever. But anyway, that's just whatever. But, like, the thing is, Superman was good to be good. Like, he did not want to kill that kaiju monster. He wanted to kind of, like, figure out a way to knock it out so scientists and people could study it. There's also the scene where he swoops in and he saves that squirrel, you know, like a squirrel, you know what I mean? Like, I love all creatures. I'm all about them. But in Florida, like, they just run out in the middle of your road, and I'll admit it ruins your day, like, for a minute, you know what I mean? You're like, oh my God, you stupid squirrel, you know? And if you could take it back, you of course would. But it's cool, because like Superman just like goes out of his way to make sure that squirrel does not die. How cool. Like, I don't know, like, that is the epitome of good, and I feel like a lot of people can learn from that. Yeah, I'm definitely one of them. I could definitely learn from the kindness and goodness of other people, you know, of course. We all can. Little public service announcement right there. But anyway, yeah, and then, like, so here's the thing, though. Like, I did not mind Lois Lane in this movie. Lois Lane, she was kind of like, your typical pain in the ass, but like all in all, she was a tough character. She sided with him, but like there was also the like kind of the beginning where you know, like a little spoiler again, they're dating already. Clark Kent, who is Superman, is already dating Lois Lane. And she asks, like, would you think Superman would give me an interview? And he says, yeah, Superman will do it. Heck yeah, cool. And she's interviewing him, and this is kind of where like a little twist happens. So Superman prevents a war. I don't remember the two countries, but he does prevent a war from erupting. And he shows up. He said, "Oh, I just threw a bunch of tanks. I did this, I did that, but like I saved people. I stopped the war." And Lois is like, "But people don't see it that way." And for some reason, he's getting a lot of heat from the media and everything for doing this. And his mindset, which I agree with Superman on this, he stopped a war. And here's the thing though, like again, Lex Luthor in this movie, I'm going to talk about him because he ties into all that war stuff. This is probably the creepiest and most sinister I've seen Lex Luthor in a movie. I don't know what the hell was in that Batman versus Superman movie, but that was not a Lex Luthor to me. And then we could talk about what's his name from Superman Returns, like Spacey. Is it Kevin Spacey? Yeah, I think it's Kevin Spacey. Yeah, he was good, but I don't know. There's something about this Lex Luthor in this movie. I was like, dude, I wouldn't mess with him. Like he was creepy. Like he was just a bald guy in a suit, and he was just intimidating. Like I'm like, holy crap! Like he literally just had it out for Superman, and he was not stopping until he got Superman destroyed. But the thing is, he was essentially siding with the president of one of the countries that they were supposed to go to war just to fund a bunch of money. And one of the countries is like a dirt poor country when the other one was kind of like a little bit thriving, you know what I mean? They were doing a little bit better. But just a bunch of evil stuff going around, you know what I mean? Just Lex Luthor being Lex Luthor. He's a trillionaire, and he's rich and he's got nothing better to do except cause crime, you know what I mean? But Lex Luthor was really creepy in this one, and he's doing everything he can to ruin Superman's reputation, and because he had the clone of Superman, which means he had his DNA, he was able to go into the what's it called? I don't even know what it's called. His lair, Superman's ice crystal lair. You know what I mean? And he was able to harness the message from his parents, which is translated in a different language. Then he translates it into a language that everybody can understand, and pretty much goes over and just says that he was supposed to come here to destroy the planet, which Superman insists isn't true, and he has no desire to do that, but the whole world pretty much is manipulated into believing that Superman is now bad, which Superman's kind of in a pickle now. Like, he's kind of stuck. He's definitely in a situation where it's like, dude, the world hates you. You got to figure this out, man. You're on your own. Like, I'm not going to say he's on his own, because Lois did have his back a lot of the movie. And I also really wanted to talk about the Hall of Justice and the other Justice like superhero characters. We had I think her name's Hawkgirl. Then we had Green Lantern, and we also had Mr. Terrific, which I absolutely cannot stand the name Mr. Terrific. But Mr. Terrific was probably my favorite character in the whole movie. Yeah, there's a scene where him and Lois, they go to the desert to save Superman. Superman ends up in like a cube, like little thing. Just he turns himself in just to pretty much get this whole thing like just under the table or just like until it blows over. Lex Luthor, of course, manipulates him and tricks him into going into the jail. And then he, of course, goes into with a character that can somehow ignite or create kryptonite with his hands and his whole body, weakening Superman, so Superman has no chance of escaping. Anyway, but Mr. Terrific and Lois Lane go to get him, but Superman's already like halfway broken out of this cell already, so it's like whatever. But Mr. Terrific has like these, I guess, like little holographic, like floating little balls that he can like just destroy people with. And there's a whole like fighting montage scene where Mr. Terrific just destroys them, and I don't know why, but I thought that was so cool. Yeah, no, and then we have Crypto the dog, which that dog needs some freaking training. I love dogs. I'm a huge dog fan, but I cannot stand when people don't train their dogs. And it happens more often than not. Like if you're gonna have a dog, train it. Like I can tell you stories. I'm a pool technician. I run a pool technician company, and I have customers that have dogs that are so undertrained that I've been bitten before, all that. So please, if you know what, if there's anything you get out of this movie or this video that I'm producing for you, is if you have a dog, train your dog to have him as security, have him as like a watchdog, hunting dog, whatever the hell you want it to be, but train it. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to go on and attack everyone. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like it's just different story. But like, yeah, no, this movie was really good. I really kind of liked it. I went and saw it with a buddy of mine. My friend had more negative thoughts toward it, and he and I were talking about it when we were on our way home from the movies. And he brought up a lot of good views and a lot of good points. I do not want to get political at all on this channel. It may happen, it may not, it may slip in time to time. But I mean, even like based solely off of like what I've read online and everything, like it is true. There are a bunch of like, woke, innuendos and moments, and it's like, it's like you really got to kind of sit there and literally kind of look for them. But every time it happened, my friend pointed it out, and he was on the point. I get it, and it is what it is. But I really just don't want to get political on this channel at all. So I'm going to just kind of go in a different direction. I did my best to ignore all that, which I think I did pretty good because I did thoroughly enjoy the movie. Pretty much a lot of it's too like Superman's an alien and everybody hates the fact that he's an alien, but then he kind of like admits that he's just as human as everyone else, which I guess you could somehow tie that into normal society. I don't know. But yeah, no, I liked the movie a lot. It was really good. If I had to give it an honest rating, I'd say like a 7.5 out of 10. I would, if I was being generous, I'd give it an 8, but I'm going to just be hyper realistic. I'm going to just give it 7.5 out of 10. Leave in the comment section what you guys thought about it. I personally liked it. Like I said, it was good. Was it James Gunn or James Cameron? I don't even remember, but like either way, really good movie. Go watch it. Let me know what you think about it. And who knows? Like I kind of hope they make more because. Am I alone when I'm sick and tired of like remade movies and they're like not even 10 years apart? They did the same thing with the Fantastic Four, which I will admit the 2014 or 15 version of that movie was absolute crap. And everybody kind of talks smack about the original too, how they were boring and then the fight scenes were long, which is true. But I grew up with those and I do kind of like them. I love the Silver Surfer in the 2007 Fantastic Four movie. I have no idea. I'm going off track, but I feel like I have to mention this because it's going to happen anyway. I have no idea why, out of nowhere, they decided in the one comic book that may exist in the Marvel whole universe, I'm talking outside of the cinematic whatever, they chose Shalla-Bao, which is the wife of Norrin Radd in the Silver Surfer comics, to be the Silver Surfer. I was like, as soon as I heard that, I was like, and here's the thing. It has nothing to do with her being female. It just has to do with why the hell did you do that? When we're all used to Norrin Radd as Silver Surfer, why did you go the route of having the female Silver Surfer? It just, I don't know. It's like making the Invisible Woman a man. It just like, why'd you, like, it just doesn't make sense. I don't know. It's complete and utter crap. I don't know. I've heard so far good things about Fantastic Four, so stay tuned for that one. And I'm a huge fan of the character Galactus. I think Galactus is awesome. I think he's actually more powerful than Thanos. I've got the action figure that's like yay big, It was the Build-A-Figure, I thank you, my Uncle Dan, for getting me that 100 years ago. But I still have it. It's in my closet somewhere, but I know I still have them. But yeah, we got a lot of good movies coming out this year. Like I said, I am actually happy with some of the movies that have come out so far this year. We're not going to talk about Jurassic World Rebirth or anything, even though I already did. That movie sucked. But all in all, like, so far, a lot of the Marvel and DC stuff so far has been pretty good, Like, I kind of dig it, I kind of like the direction. It's not overdoing it. I think this is going to be the year, and I'm feeling like this is going to be the year that they kind of tune themselves to what people are kind of looking for. Like, we really don't care much for political crap anymore. Keep all your woke stuff out of it. Just give us a damn superhero movie, you know what I mean? We just want to see shit get blown up and thrown around and bad guys fighting good guys and vice versa. That's all I want. You know what I mean? Stop throwing weird, subliminal messages down everyone's throat. Jesus. My God. Anyway, off track. Again, trying not to get political, but God, it's kind of tough in the world we live in. But anyway, like I said, guys, leave in the comment section what you guys thought about it. Like I said, 7.5 out of 10 for me. I would probably watch it again, but not in the theaters. I probably wouldn't pay money to see it again. But if it comes out on a streaming site, absolutely, I would definitely go see it again. I would watch it on TV. But yeah, guys, like I said, like and subscribe. And YouTube, don't forget to have a fantastic day. And I will see you in the next one.